Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff today. I'm reviewing the song Old Flame by Thin Lizzy. As usual, this song comes to you as a request from one of my viewers. So if you want to get your song reviewed, just do what they did. Leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to add it to my list. As I always say, the list is super long. I get a lot of requests, but I read every single request that I get. So, the list may be long, but eventually we might get to it. So leave it in those comments. Anyway, I've heard, to my knowledge, exactly one song from Thin Lizzy, and that is "The Boys Are Back in Town." I think they do that one right. And it's weird because, like, growing up, I listened to a lot of, like, what I would consider classic rock. My dad is a huge classic rock fan. My older brother listened to a lot of classic rock. So, not sure, where these guys fall in sort of the spectrum of classic rock, but, like, grew up listening to stuff like AC/DC and Guns N' Roses, Ozzy Osbourne. Um, uh, Sorry, my cat's looking at me weird. What else? What else? I mean, we grew up listening to just Aerosmith, those things, bands that you associate with classic rock. For some reason, Thin Lizzy just kind of escaped. It was like a blind spot for me. I don't know. It's like, again, one of those classic rock bands that for whatever reason just got overlooked in my young music education. So, going in fairly blind. I mean, other than the boys are back in town, I know nothing of this band. So, other than that they've been around for a while. Looks like this song came out back in June 30th, 1976. So, anyway, let's give them a listen. Old Flame, Thin Lizzy. Here we go.
There's a girl I remember. Oh, for such a long, long time. This girl I remember, she was an old flame of mine. Beneath the stars, just sipping wine. Young lovers then in summertime. I'll always remember that old flame of mine. And love, she comes and goes. True love, she hides and shows my love. Day I propose to love, she comes and goes. Two hearts together, two hearts alike, to keep us warm on winter nights. With each dying ember, I remember that old flame of mine. Once this flame, it did brightly blaze. Among the ashes there still remains a glowing spark in my heart, that old flame of mine. And love, she comes, true love, she hides my love. May I propose, she comes and goes. Please take wanna go.
I like that. I actually really like that a lot. Again, not really knowing what to expect from Thin Lizzy, kind of in the grand scheme of things. Like, I don't know, it was just a good classic rock song. I also think it was funny that I was kind of struggling to name classic rock bands earlier, and I'm literally wearing a Fleetwood Mac shirt. So anyway, let's break the song down piece by piece, like we always do, of course, starting with the lyrics. So it says here, there's a girl I'll remember. Oh, for such a long, long time, the girl I'll remember, she was an old flame of mine, beneath the stars, just sipping wine, young lovers then in summertime. I'll always remember that old flame of mine. I think, this song wears, it's hard on its sleeve. It kind of tells you exactly what it's about, right? It's about that old flame, that love that got away or ended too soon or whatever, right? Like, they still remember that girl they once knew, once dated, once went out with, whatever. And the great times that they had, right? And love, she comes and goes. True love, she hides, then shows. My love, may I propose. That love, she comes and goes. So yeah, I mean, again, this is an old flame. I'm assuming not a current flame. So love comes and goes, as he says. The things don't always last forever. Two hearts together, two hearts alight, to keep us warm on winter nights with each dying ember. I remember that old flame of mine. Once this flame, it did brightly blaze. Among the ashes there still remains a glowing spark in my heart for that old flame of mine. And love, she comes, true love, she hides. My love, may I propose. She comes and goes. So yeah, I mean, as I was reading through it, I'm like, there's a reason they call it an old flame, right? Because typically, once a fire, a flame runs out of fuel, it fizzles and burns out, right? And so, whatever was driving this love fizzled and burned out, and now all that's left, as he referenced, was just like this little cinder, this little piece of what once was that kind of is still hanging around in his heart. So. I think I don't want to say that my experience is universal, but many of us have probably experienced, that relationship that went wrong, and that, you spend a lot of time thinking about that person afterwards, and kind of reminiscing on those memories. Again, it was that old flame. So I think, lyrically, this one is pretty straightforward. Again, it wears its heart on its sleeve. But I think it's written really well. I mean, there were some lines in there that I was like, yeah, that it was a great approach to kind of telling the story here. So at the very least, I'm going to give it a thumb up for the lyricism. As far as the instrumentation and vocals go, vocally, I hear. This is going to sound weird when I say it. I hear the boys are back in town, in the sense that, again, that was the only other song I ever heard from Thin Lizzy. So I'm like, okay, yes, I hear that same singer. This is the same singer, obviously, I think. And I can hear that same sound in his voice. But here he's just got such a smooth and sweet sounding voice, which I think is appropriate for this sort of quasi love song, as it were. So I think he sounds great. I think what really drew me to the song, honestly, was the instrumentation. A lot of praise for the bass here, because I think the bass sounded absolutely fantastic. It was really coming through. I feel like this recording might be a little bit older, because I feel like I can hear sort of how the bass should sound, very rich. Didn't quite sound as rich here as I was hoping for, but again, I think that's just the recording. I think a higher quality recording would really help that bass shine through even more. Regardless, I really enjoyed the bass work from start to finish. The guitar as well, from start to finish, was fantastic. That guitar solo kind of blew me away a little bit. I with classic rock, I feel like guitar solos have, are pretty expected. So I kind of had a feeling one was probably going to pop up, but this one did not disappoint. I'm a sucker for a good guitar solo. I'll just throw it out there. Like, I love a good guitar solo. So really, really appreciated this one. I think all the instrumentation worked really well here to create just kind of this fun, sweet sounding song. I loved the guitar from start to finish. I feel like that helped paint the emotions that were conveyed in the lyricism and with the vocal performance as well. So honestly, 2 big thumbs up for the instrumentation and vocals. As far as replay value goes, hey, I think this is a good sort of semi-introduction to Thin Lizzy for me. Again, Boys Are Back in Town is like this super radio friendly, like, it's used in commercials and TV shows and movies and all the things. It's one of those that you kind of get tired of hearing after a while. So it's nice to be introduced to a different song from this band that I haven't heard a million times, and it's like, okay, that was really really nice. So this is the type of song that gets me excited to hear more from this band. So kudos to you for your recommendation, the person who recommended this. And yeah, I think this one is hitting the playlist for sure. I'm going to give it a thumb up for replay value. Overall, a great song and a fantastic request. Thank you so much again. As always, if you enjoyed the music as much as I did, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. I'm not sure if Lizzy's still around, but still, go listen to their music. If you enjoyed it. Hey, if you liked the way I talked about this song and want to see more from me, consider liking and subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. Make sure I stay on your front page, your algorithm, whatever you want to call it, your recommended. And hey, maybe it'll even throw me onto someone else's too. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.